I want to know what people think.
It's Romeo and Juliet with fangs.
I'm ready to check it out. It's a very interesting
Oh,
bottle.
I hadn't even noticed this before. It's also got Filmland down the side.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's got Filmland here, Filmland here.
I didn't check the punt.
No
Is
punt.
there anything on the bottom?
It's a cigarette.
It's smooth. It's an
cigarette ashtray. I mean, that's seriously dark, though.
Mm-hmm. Any age statement on it? Well, you know what? How about we get started, and you can tell me all about the age statement later.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone, to the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. Over here, to your right, is Mr. W2. How do you do?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Doing all right. Your hair looks shorter. What happened?
Well,
You soak it in hot water? You went and saw your little friend Morgan, huh?
Mm-hmm. Little man and I both went, and he got his bangs trimmed and a little bit of trimming and shaping. He has expressed to us, he's 4, but he has already expressed to us several times the last couple weeks, I want to grow my hair long again, Daddy.
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I get it.
Yep, keep it while you got it.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody grows up to be able to keep theirs.
Yep. And I had to get my fade, and then I had to get my beard shaped.
Yeah, beard shape is important. Mine doesn't really have a shape. It just... whatever. Fucking Sugar Creek DNA takes care of the rest. So... tonight we have the Filmland Spirits Moonlight Mayhem Kansas City Whiskey Guild bottle pick or barrel pick that they did. They did taste testings on different barrels, and the Kansas City Whiskey Guild is a group on Facebook where there's a lot of us whiskey enthusiasts, and I'm sure there's a few experts. I'm sure the experts did the tasting. I remember them talking about that they were going to do it, and then they talked about that they did it. And then they gave us the hype, you know, the bottles are coming. And then they came, and now they're all over Kansas City. W2 here went out, and he found one, picked one up.
Yep.
And now we're going to try it tonight. What all else can you tell us about?
Yeah, they're working with Santa Fe Liquors, which is off of 87th, east of I-35.
Okay.
So, nice little store. I think, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think that is the store that they work with for all the barrel picks for the guild. So, but yeah.
And it's not their first, and I don't think it'll be their last.
No, and in fact, about this a little bit more than this time last year when we joined the guild, they had just gotten in their barrel pick of the 1792. I think it was a full proof. That one. But it was the foolproof barrel pick for the guild, and I missed out on it, but I saw all the ravings about that one. So
what is it about a barrel pick? What is a barrel pick? What's that all about?
So a barrel pick, whether it's a store, whether it's a group like the guild that kind of sponsors it, whether it's just a couple dudes or an influencer, you go in. And usually what a distillery does is they will kind of hand select half dozen or so barrels that you get to sample from and figure out, which one aligns with your palate and what's going to make the most amount of sense. And then they take that barrel that you pick and they bottle it all up. You get all of the contents of that. So you're not only just picking a barrel, but you are but as a result of that, regardless of what it is, it ends up being a single barrel offering. That's how, like when we did the Buffalo Trace. Yep. Buffalo Trace is it's not even a small batch. It is a large batch production bourbon. If you're a store and you do a barrel pick, you get to select your barrel. You get just the contents of that barrel, and so you end up getting a single barrel offering of Buffalo Trace. This is one
Not just any barrel, the barrel you picked.
Right, yeah. as a result of that, typically, it's not always defaulted to a cask strength, but a lot of times a additional benefit of that store pick is it's at least a higher proof.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is full cask strength. The bubble store pick Angel's Envy, it was not full cask strength.
It was not.
But it was pretty darn close. So I think it was like 110, 115.
Yeah, it was well over, regular.
And I remember the write-up that we pulled off of their barrel program. They talked about why they proofed it down just a little bit, and that is they do a annual cask strength release of that, and to not blur the lines between their cask strength offering and their store barrel pick program. That's why they do that. And it makes sense.
Yeah, I see why they would do that. Plus, you get more bottles that way.
It rounds off maybe some of the harshness that might be there, that might detour
with Angel's Envy,
some.
It'd be kind of hard to do. I mean, tell you what, Into Existence, I take a bottle of Angel's Envy over to the band practice, and that's where bottles go to die. And Steven, guitar player on the Hollow Body, he said that it was. He said he found it harsh.
Wow,
Angel's Envy. I thought it drinks like candy.
It does.
It's so good.
Very, very much so.
Maybe it had something to do with the little solo cups we're drinking out of. I don't know. It did. I'll tell you one thing. It tastes way different in those than it does in these.
Oh, I bet.
Here it tastes like dessert. There it tastes like delicious whiskey.
So a couple months ago, one of the admins, Tanner, in the Casey Whiskey Guild, posted a late Sunday night teaser, and there were actually 3 photos that he posted pictures of, one of which was a picture of this bottle right here. And then about a month later, he made another Sunday night post that Monday, instead of sitting around and eating lunch and working right on through like I usually do, I grabbed the truck keys and I took off down the highway to get one. They actually had
at a safe speed, I'm sure.
Of course. They had a online sign up form so you could
reserve a bottle,
pre-reserve a bottle. And so I got down there and said I'm here for a bottle, and they're like, name, and they had one with my name on it, all
W2,
ready to go.
Wizard Fingers.
So
extraordinaire.
I'm gonna go ahead and pop that.
Nice pop. Nice natural cork
topper.
What'd you call that? Pine. I don't know what that topper is. It's cool looking though. Looks like a little film reel. It's got an Art Deco eye, like evil eye design. There's lots of little Art Deco designs all throughout there. From here,
there is.
It smells great.
Yeah, this is just a cool bottle. There's a lot of detail.
Oh yeah.
I've seen this on the shelf now for a while now, and curiosity has been piqued every time I see it, just because I don't want to say gimmicky, but there's just something. It's got that old school horror movie, sci-fi movie cheese to it, in a old film kind of kind of a style, and so I've passed on it up until I saw this, and then it was offering. I'm like, yep, that's going to be a done deal.
I don't know, man. You said gimmicky. Really, the thought didn't even come into my head until you said it.
There's no gimmick. There's no gimmick to it, other than the designers just having a lot of fun with the stories and building the entire backstory of this bourbon in terms of a film. So you look on the back there, you've got your main cast right there on the back side of it.
What it says right up here at the top, this is, for me, I mean, you could argue, it's gimmicky. For me, this pulls away from the gimmick part of it, because these people are all about
Oh yeah,
these old horror movies and the whole drive-in experience and stuff. It says, Filmland Spirits, we are a crew of whiskey enthusiasts. Makes me like them already. Movie buffs, makes me like them even more. And storytellers, bringing people together through captivating tales and great tasting spirits. We invite you to experience our stories you can drink.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you got Wolfman.
I want to add to that too and say, now that I've actually picked up the bottle, brought it home, and then been able to spend some time with it,
Unopened.
It becomes very evident that there's nothing gimmicky about this because of the level of details.
Yeah.
It's got the Filmland embossed on the top of it right here. There's a nice little beveled ridge right there. It's got Filmland embossed down the side. It's got this little gear design at the bottom of it. The topper actually has wood inlay, so it looks like a film reel. I mean, there's just so much detail put into that. There's nothing gimmick about it.
And the label itself looks like a movie poster.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll get into it when you take pictures of it and post them on there. But like the small letters down at the bottom, it reads just like an old movie poster with the different fonts. You know, produced by and aged in, produced in location in, composed of, just all this great information.
Yeah, so the write-up I have on this is the Kansas City Whiskey Guild store pick, Filmland Moonlight Mayhem Extended Cut, Single Barrel Cask Strength Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Categories bourbon. This is produced in Kentucky. It is distilled by Filmland Spirits. It's distilled MGP, but bottled in Kentucky.
Okay.
There is no age statement, but it is a single barrel cask strength straight bourbon whiskey coming in at 119.2 proof. And that is what the bottle says. Yep. It says here, fear not, the world will be saved by this powerful bourbon. Created in 2020 by a sci-fi lover, spirits enthusiast, and overall creative genius, Troy Bolotnick, Filmland Spirits Distillery does things just a tiny bit differently. Each spirit they envision starts with a story. The team approaches it exactly like it would writing a movie script, imagining into life the heroes and the villains, the plot, and an exciting setting. Only then do they start to think about the ingredients and the team that could bring the story to life. Liquid. When distilled and blended to perfection, they are then patted on their back and sent out into the world to their audience of anticipating drinkers in a bottle featuring an original B-movie poster label in pulp-style art. A bourbon as sweet and strong as the love that was destined to save the planet from the raging pack of werewolves, Filmland's Moonlight Mayhem Extended Cut Cask Strength Straight Bourbon Whiskey is the kind of spirit they write stories about. But oh wait, there is an actual story behind it in a parallel world where humans have nearly extinct from all the carnivorous creatures roaming the planet.
Yikes.
A human boy named Tommy falls in love with a carnivorous girl named Sylvain, and together they will save the planet. Created from 75% corn, 21% rye. That's a pretty good amount of rye. 4% malted barley and bottled uncut at a powerful ABV of 57.5. The spirit will transform you like Tommy will transform a werewolf back into a human.
Well, you know, the moon does that on its own. The moon doesn't need you to do that for it, Tommy.
Oh.
Right. So when you said it's a decent amount of rye, I think that it clicked that's what, because I kept smelling this and smelling this. I'm like, almost smells like dried grass. Like there's a grain in there. You know, something I don't normally pick up on the nose. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's very, what do they call it? Viscous. It's thick.
Yep.
It's got good legs on it.
Good legs. Great color.
Yeah, I picked up on, the color's fantastic.
I mean, no age statement, but...
I picked up on corn, caramel, oak, and vanilla. And maybe I'll throw in rye.
I'm getting cherry on the nose, too.
cherry. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some kind of stone fruit, but
maybe a cherry.
I wasn't
cola.
sure which one. Cherry cola. Man, what was that one that we tried that you were like, all right, smell your empty glass.
Oh.
And
yeah, what was it? Oh.
It was like cherry Dr. Pepper or something like that.
That wasn't the Union Horse 12-year, was it?
I don't remember. Sometimes we get a little past whiskey 30 and I forget things. Like, I just remembered earlier today that there was some band in Wichita playing Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit, and I went buck wild.
I think we were all standing out there just singing right along with them.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. I remember getting everybody, like the band's doing their thing, and I'm like, everybody fucking get down. They're like, "Tukum, tukum, tukum, tukum." Right now I'm dangerous. Anyway, that's a story for another time. Let's get it on the palate.
Do it. Oh, yeah.
The caramel carries through. The rye shows up immediately. And on the finish, the rye spice snatches the tongue, but it doesn't go down here.
To me,
that always surprises me. See, I grew up, respectively, drinking rot gut whiskey or whatever that always burns going down.
It doesn't.
So then, as I'm grown up, I drink whiskey that only burns in the mouth but not going down. Wild difference. Wild.
I feel like there's a kind of a cherry cola kind of a coating on the palate.
Yeah, you said maybe cherry cola on the nose, but I'm picking up cherry on the palate.
Maybe a little bit of chocolate. Like a cocoa nib kind of a chocolate.
Yeah, I'm not picking up on that. It's all right, though. I remember the first time we found chocolate on the palate. It surprised the shit out of both of us. It was that...
it was that Balcones rye.
Texas rye, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
We were like, was that chocolate? Yeah, we had no idea. Yeah. You know what? I have yet to buy that bottle.
I haven't either.
Maybe I'll get a bottle of it and take that into existence and say, all right, try this, fuckers. It's a rye. Let me know what you think. Oh, it's spicy. Shut the fuck up. What else we got here? We got rye, we got caramel, we got cherry. Oh, you said chocolate.
Some vanilla.
Cocoa.
Maybe a little bit of custardy.
Right.
Kind of a creaminess.
All right, yeah. All right, creaminess. Let's say creamy vanilla.
As good as this is by itself,
the palate's good too.
I bet the Savor the Burn Old Fashioned with this would be put your hands in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And what was the proof? 119?
119.2.
119.2. I forgot to write that down just for my notes. Yeah, 119.2 proof would be great for an old fashioned.
Yep.
You know, the ice ball, your big fat ice cube waters it down just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
What would you use for the sweetener?
Demerara
syrup.
All day long.
You haven't moved away from that since you did it.
Not at all. Yeah, I mean it's so good. With the exception of, I did a brown derby the other day, which the sweetener in that is honey syrup. And so any of my cocktails that call for honey syrup, I'm using the honey syrup because that's a very distinct sweetener. But other than that, yeah, I use the Demerara for anything that's needs a simple syrup.
The rye kind of chases out the finish too. The cherry's still there. Cherry kind of
the rye kind of concludes the finish.
Okay, so you keep saying cherry cola, and I don't know if it finally kicked into my brain, but like it does have like on the finish of it, the bite gives the tongue the sensation of that effervescent kind of cola feeling.
Yeah.
So take that with the cherry, I could kind of see.
Yeah. And
I could kind of see how that could come through on your palate.
For me, because of the proof and because of the rye that's in there, the bite that you get with that combination, to me, is specifically more of a cherry Coke versus a cherry Pepsi. Because I feel like cherry Coke has a little bit more of a carbonated bite to it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
as much as I love Coke products, cherry Pepsi for me was always way better than cherry Coke. And I love cherry Coke. I guess I should say I like cherry Coke, but I love cherry Pepsi.
Yeah, those legs are thick.
I don't mind thick-legged anything, really. Yeah, picking up a lot more oak on the palate.
Yep. Yeah, as the finish is settling, yeah, I'm getting a little bit more oak. Good call, Casey Whiskey Guild.
Yeah,
this is a winner.
Kudos to you guys for picking a damn fine barrel.
Yeah.
I feel bad about the score, even though it's not a bad score.
The finish on the notes here say powerful with notes of leather and cacao.
Cacao.
Caramel, cream, oak, cacao, leather, and applewood on the palate.
On the palate, we got rye, caramel, cherry cola, cocoa or chocolate, creamy vanilla, and oak.
Cream, so...
Yeah, so cream, oak, cacao, cocoa,
oak,
no applewood.
Oak and applewood.
Fruity notes of cherry and dried fruit. That's all they put down for the nose. We picked up on all kinds of stuff. Finish, powerful with notes of leather. Okay, you already said that one.
With a brownish golden color.
We didn't get leather.
No, very rarely do I get leather.
Yeah,
I think we've gotten it a couple times.
Yeah, like 3 times the max. I think I picked it up
very rarely.
Once on that that Advent calendar we did. I think I picked it up on one of them once. But yeah, as far as everything else goes, maybe twice, 2 or 3 times.
What'd you give it on the nose?
I was just going to ask you that. I gave it a 375.
Okay, I gave it 4 1/4.
I knew I did this. I knew I did this. All right, so anything north of 4 makes me think that it wowed you.
It did. It's a great nose. Yeah. It is
a great nose.
Ever since I don't think I had ever correlated any bourbon with cherry cola until we did the Eagle Rare with Tim. Faith and Tim.
Okay.
And Tim was like, okay, all right, picture this. Cherry cola. And I was just like, oh, damn.
Like, dude.
So not all, but this is one of those that it's jumping out at me as not just a little bit of a cherry flavor, but because of everything else that kind of goes in with that, and then you add the rye spice, higher proof, and if you think about a Coke, a cola, it's going to have some caramel notes to it, and I think that plays right on in with the bourbon when those cherry notes present themselves.
I forgot to mention a little bit ago that I did post a picture of this bottle in the Kansas City Bourbon and Whiskey Club, not to be confused with the KC Whiskey Guild.
Yep.
Let's see here. Michael says, I was pleasantly surprised to see how good Filmland is. Tim says, I thought Moonlight Mayhem was good, but probably won't get it again due to price. And you said this one was like 75-ish?
And I'm curious.
This is barrel pick.
Yeah, I'm curious to know, is he referring to specifically the Whiskey Guild barrel pick, which is, because it's a store pick, it's going to be a little bit more. It's also a higher proof. It's also a lot close. Actually, this one's is not just close to, it is cask strength. So I'm curious as to if he's referring to this bottle, which is, like 75, or the regular Moonlight Mayhem, which I believe is around the $40-$45 range.
Probably not talking about the regular one.
I would hope not, because at $45, I feel like I'm still going to like this one more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I feel like if the other one is a little bit lesser version of this for $45, that's probably a decent price.
Yeah,
my opinion.
Yeah, and that's coming from two people that haven't tried the regular, the original, whatever. Let's see. Dave says, I thoroughly enjoy the Moonlight Mayhem. Now, I don't know. That sounds a little bit misleading. Maybe, is he talking about Moonlight Mayhem as in crazy nighttime activities? Or is he talking about this bottle? Oh, and Mike... another Mike, he posted a KC pitch, thepitchkc.com, inside the bottle, a pitch perfect blend of cinnamon and spirit. So I guess the pitch, it's like a weekly magazine here in Kansas City, did an article on it. So I'll follow that link later and check it out. I also posted it in the Kansas City Whiskey Guild, and nobody said shit.
All right, so it says on the back here, cast strength bourbon, exclusive and limited, barrel selected by the expert at your local store from the same ones used to create our award-winning whiskeys. Each bottling represents a unique, uncut expression sure to induce mayhem in werewolves and humans alike.
Yeah, nobody in the guild has responded to it, and that's fine. Even though it is their bottle, maybe people are intimidated. Like, I don't know if I liked it too much.
Well, I know I have seen Nancy post a few times in there, and I think I've replied to one of her posts with a picture of the bottle, the unopened bottle, because we hadn't gotten to it till just now. But yeah, I've seen a couple posts on it. And everybody raving about it.
Which maybe there is a little bit of chocolate on the nose now that it's had time to get down to the bottom of it. So on the nose, I gave it a 375. On the nose, you gave it a 425. On the palate, I gave it another 375. How about you?
Well,
and you went north of 4, didn't you?
I gave it a full point higher.
Wow. Okay.
4.75.
All right. God damn it! I knew I was
enjoyed this one.
This lower than
I really enjoyed this one
because after I did I did the little calculations and I got my final score, I thought that's way too damn low because this is way too damn good. So don't hold me to this, fellow guild members. They're going to boot me. The minute they see this, they're going to kick me out of the group. But you know what? That's fine. It won't be the first group that I've been kicked out of, or at least grounded from. This is my second time being banned or whatever on
suspended
on suspension in what was it? Whiskey Tribe.
Whiskey Tribe.
Damn it! So what had happened was this guy had a topper on his bottle and.
He had
usually the cork comes out with the topper, but for whatever reason the cork stuck in there, and he was like, "Oh no, well doesn't this suck or whatever?"
And that was the Octomore bottle.
Octomore, okay.
Which is like a $400 bottle.
I was like, "It's cool, just send it to me, I'll take care of it." Poof. I'm pretty sure that's what got me, because in one of the rules it says like we don't even joke around about this, like don't talk about sending bottles, sending whiskey, whatever, to or from. Member to member, whatever. And I'm like, God bless America. So it happened almost instantaneously. I just know that has to be what it was. But the first time I got banned, no idea. Suspended, no idea. On the finish, I gave it a 3.5. How about you?
I gave the finish 4.5.
All right. I'm going to go over here and sit down for a minute and rethink. I've had a rough day. Bottle presentation, 4.5.
I gave this a 4.5.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I love everything about this bottle, and I started off using the word gimmick and
loosely,
and this is the farthest from a gimmick. There's a lot of creative freedom with this, and I love it. And I mean, down to every detail of this bottle carries that story and that whole expression.
Yeah, I would think that Traveler whiskey, the Chris Stapleton, the Buffalo Trace thing, that would be more of a gimmick whiskey. I mean, everybody knows his first,
it's
celebrity whiskey. Yeah, his first solo breakout song was Tennessee Whiskey. Yes, it was a cover. Don't fucking send your hate mail to Jonathan at savortheburn.com. Email. But but it's a Kentucky whiskey. What the hell are you doing? Plus, he doesn't drink anymore. So, what the hell are you doing? This, it's not a celebrity whiskey, and I don't really see this as a gimmick.
No, not
I'd say that's their thing. Just like Von Payne. It's in a gargoyle glass.
This falls in the same, and I'm not sure what the category is, but this falls in, I think,
eccentric. The same. I don't know.
I don't think that's not a bad.
So what would you call it? Would you call it a gimmick whiskey? What?
Yeah, I think this falls in the same category as your Von Payne. You've got a very ornate bottle, the metal pour spout gargoyle topper on there. It's up and above.
What's that one you sent me the other day? Art Deco bottle. Was it Tomstown?
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Tomstown? Is it? Oh, well. But, yeah, if you get a chance, you can Google what Tomstown bottles look like. They're very ornate. So, maybe that would go in there with it. I don't know. I mean, it's not like your
Pendergast.
It's not like a Pendergast bottle. It's not like your Weller bottle or any other kind of regular handbell shaped thing. Like the old Rebel Yell. I guess it's Rebel whiskey now. There it is, Royal
Pendergast Royal.
Pendergast Royal. And just looking at the bottle itself, it's really nothing to speak of. But the labeling is Art Deco as hell.
Very, very ornate.
And that's nothing to laugh at. That's decent stuff.
It makes a great brown derby. FYI.
So what did your final end up being?
Well, 9 even.
9 even. Very cool. I don't want to say mine.
What was your final?
Because the pour I had is not indicative of a 7 3/4.
That's still better than average.
It is.
It's way better than average.
Yeah. Average would be 5. The way we do ratings anyway. We go we never go 0 to 5, really. We said that we go 0 to 5. It's just 1 to 5. We do 1 to 5 on 4 different criteria: nose, palate, finish, bottle presentation. We add up our scores all together. We divide that by 2, and that's how we come up with our final score.
You want to get your cereal?
They always smell like some kind of cereal note on the end. It never seems. Whatever words, it never ceases to amaze me. There it is. This is more oatmeal-y.
Yeah, well, I'm getting kind of a like a grape nuts kind of a cereal with like a dried cherry.
Yep. I remember when grape nuts came out, like nobody in the house liked them, but I'm like, you all just let these sit in the milk for a little bit. They're not bad.
Nope. And you let them set in the milk a little bit longer.
Yep.
And you got yourself a nice.
It's almost like overnight oats. Yeah, it's kind of mushy, kind of. I mean, when you describe it, it's kind of fucking gross. It's kind of mushy, kind of room temperature. It's kind of cool, but might be bad. I don't know. It's pretty good. It'll make a turd. Well, everyone, if you've followed us this long, you know the drill. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, and Facebook, last but not least. Keep an eye out on savortheburn.com for all new things, new bottles ending up in the liquor cabinet. Thanks to Mr. W2 and his magic wizard fingers getting all that stuff figured out. He does all the website work and really all the editing and all the actual work. I just have to show up and drink. And I come up with all these crazy ideas and I throw them at him. He's like, yeah, those are great. And then more work for me to do. But then somehow he makes it work. He's just Mr. fucking Wizard Fingers. He makes it happen somehow. He filters out the dumb ideas. But anyway, thank you for following along on this journey. We're having a blast still, over a year and probably a year and a half into it so far now. So hopefully you've checked out either the pre-sale or the full blast sale in the store, in the shop of the t-shirts.
Yeah,
we're looking forward to seeing which colors of shirts you guys are getting, because we had arguments over the shirt colors. I don't want that color, but the chicks like it, dude. I don't give a shit. I'm not telling you which one was which, but it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. Looking at the numbers on that one, but well, I guess we wrap it, huh?
Let's do it.
All right. No matter who you are, where you are, what you're drinking, who you're drinking it with, always remember, dear fellow Savor the Burner, keep on burning.